The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Basil Chapman here on the 7th day of January. We're looking on Tuesday. We're looking at this opening that looked like it had some strength. The Dow again had some strength initially, and now it's pulling back. In fact, it was a bit of a leader for a moment. It's up 6 now, up 10 at 42,718. What we're looking at is there's a pattern that I call the lowercase h that can go to a lowercase m. And I'll just show you the pattern because that's what's been on the chart formation that we've been looking at for a little while. Let's see if I can find it right here. There it is. So we're looking at this one here. So I look at three core patterns: straight up, straight down, cup formation, arch formation, mix of 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. In this case, it's 1 and 3. And very often when the price pulls back sharply and then makes a rally, and then the rally fails at a peak A or a B, the first or second peak, and comes down and doesn't take out the left side low and then tries to hold, there's a chance that you could then make another arch formation. Whether that arch formation can go above the major arch that was formed or not is really, that's key. And what I look at is if the left side low is holding, and the price has moved up about a halfway of the total arch, then you can look at this as going a lowercase h to a lowercase m. But if there's a powerful move that takes the price way above the arch high, all of a sudden this h becomes a very beautiful cup formation, and you can go to a left side icon on the left. Either it's a gap, or it's the peak, or it's a doji candle, whatever it is, but that's the way you would look at it. Right now, the Dow is struggling. You can see it's made the arch formation. It's almost like it's a continuation of the arch, but there was a higher high yesterday from the, so this is gray A and gray B. I'll just put that in because it's technical, and a lot of people use the Chapman wave like for me to articulate what I'm doing. So I've got it blue. I'll make it gray because it should be gray because I have no signal yet to say that it's even a buy signal, let alone a buy mode. So this is very important. The 9 period under the 14 period is really struggling to get into the 14 period, the black 14 period moving average, push above it to help the pink 9 period moving average. But what you did see is that the histogram slowly, that's the MACD's histogram, has been improving. And if this can continue, at least for what's today, Tuesday, so we can go Wednesday, Thursday, let's say into Friday, with a couple of closes above the 14 period moving average of 14,933, that 9 period differential in that's the green line in the MACD, let me use a different pointer, that will suddenly cross positive, and that should be good for at least a good kick to the upside. Hasn't done that. It could still deflect like it did before back in late December. The 9 deflected below the 14. Okay. So with that said, we're looking at the weekly chart, still very strong. 9 is way over the 14. Price is hanging out for the fourth week under the 14 period moving average. So I have to ask the question, this is myself I'm asking, is this similar to the top that was made back in 2000, around about January the 14th, there was a high, all-time high, and then you had to wait until March before you got the high in the SMHs, the semiconductors, and the NASDAQ, because it was the dot-com bubble, and bubbles just last way longer than you ever anticipated. I just don't know. I've asked the question, but I really can't say because I see hysteria in little sectors, tiny sectors, but it's not the general population. Are you walking around at the Christmas parties or the whatever holiday parties you were at going into December, and the January the 1st, if you were at any January the 1st party, did anybody, I mean, I was at a party with maybe 40 to 50 people on January the 1st. Not a single person even mentioned the stock market. Now, it might have been the age group, but there was a mix of age groups. So I don't see that as hysteria. This is just an overbought situation that you can see as taking its time, pulling back, and unfolding. And that makes it very important to monitor the close in January because of the weekly charts. And the weekly charts, look, the Dow has been the weakest, and yet the 9-period moving average is still above the 14. Look at the S&P. It's got a much bigger range from its all-time high, just under 6,100, and went down to 58.29. Rallies all the way back to the 60, almost 60-50 area, plummets back down to the 640s, and then pops back up. And this kind of, it reminds me when I was a kid, and I'd sit at the dining room table, and I'd take the knife, I'd press it flat on the table, and then the handle would be sticking over, and I'd go, ding, and it would go, blah, 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 blah. Now, need I say, did it irritate my parents? Of course it irritated my parents. Well, this is irritating me. It's got that same reflex. Gosh, I wish Dave Wright was here to tell me exactly what this oscillation would be. Well, it's an oscillation. So look at this. The weekly chart is still fantastic in the S&P. And the monthly chart is really very good. And look at this. Here's the line that I drew because we're about to get a change of administration. I've got the morning. Look, the market doesn't care who's in power up until now. Look, every single president has had a pretty good, well, Bush too didn't because when he handed it over lower than it was when he got it back in 2002. But look at this. Obama, 666.79, March of 2009, goes all the way to the 2134 level. May of 2015 pulls back, then has another rally going into the crossover where Obama hands it over to Trump. Trump takes it over right there. Look at the 2480s or something like that. Should put the price in. And then what happens? It rallies all the way to where Biden takes it over. A nice rally. Biden takes it over. Nice rally going into the next week or two when the new administration comes in. Doesn't care. It just doesn't care. Ha. Now we've gotten to a level where the stochastic is at 94%, even higher than it was before. It's flat and holding. The MACD is strong. The 9-period moving average is way over the 14. You're just above the Chapman wave. Long-term, very long-term, from 2009, inside track repellent zone. You've been above it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. Well, the month hasn't finished for January, but it's up until now, 7 months. And we'll see what happens. And I've got this as an F, but it could be an instant restart with an F/B. So you could pull back as long as you don't take out 4,953.56 in the S&P. This is still a buy signal to buy mode as a buy mode designation. Isn't that interesting? All right, let's just have a look at this one for the QQQ. In leg D, Invesco Trust is the NDX 100. 254 back in October of 2022. We're trading now at 520. And the technicals look great. I just don't see. I do see this, and I've spoken about it for all of December, going into January, that I see a rotational correction unfolding right now. But there are still sectors that are doing well. I'll be back. Dow's down 52, S&P's down 22.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. So I see in the den, U.S. JOLTS job openings, November actual is 8,098K versus 7,744K. Previous estimate was 7,740K. And here we've got U.S. ISM services index, December actual was 54.1 versus 52.1 expected previous. So I think that the market, let me see what, if the bonds have followed through on the downside. TLT. Yeah, has it? Oh, has it? It's broken the 87.34 left side low of April in that peak D top with an arch formation that I drew in, and I said, this is the target, and it's gone lower. And I said, if it takes out on a weekly basis the low that was made back in April of 87.34 in that H to M shape pattern, ooh, this looks a little bit like the Dow. The H to M shape pattern in that monthly chart, you've got to be careful because it could go all the way down to the low of 82.42 that was made back in October of 2023. Gosh, okay. So with that said, let's get back to this. We were looking at the IWM. So the Russell 2000 has really been struggling. I drew this in as a circle, and I said it could be spring-loaded if it could break and snap to the upside, but you've got to be careful because it could be a stalk leg formation if it takes out the bottom. Well, it's done neither because it broke out but didn't close underneath. So I have to take this away and say that as an H pattern, it's actually done quite nicely. The IWM, I'm just talking about the very short term. It's made a leg B going to a peak B today. No, it made a lower low. So that's an A. That's another A. Initial A failed. That's a gray A right there. And somehow or other by Friday, it's just got a nick. The high of yesterday, which is 227.17, it's got to go to 227.18 or higher to really start to get into that ugly candle, that really ugly candle of the 18th of December with a high of 233.08 and a low of 218.07. Well, that's a heavy candle. That's where it needs to get to. Now, there are a couple of things. So 10:20 is where I start to look at the next part of the session for the day. So you've got it's very difficult to call them as if they're perfect time sequences. They're really not, but they are modes of action. So you've got your early, let me just do this. Let me go to the E-mini. You've got your very early morning low that's often made, right? In this case, it was at 4 a.m. and then retested, yesterday. And then it was retested. We were sideways in the E-mini 10-minute chart. That was at 4 a.m. No, it was 4 o'clock at the close yesterday. And it got retested at midnight, just after midnight. Then it rallied and it pulled back. And then it went green. The 9-period moving average went green at 4 to 3 o'clock this morning. And then it stayed green. It went all the way to this peak, a second peak, right there at the high. And you went smashing through the 200-period moving average. Look how it was acting as such beautiful support. And then it went plowed right through it. Now the 6,015 level where the 200-period moving average is going to be the day's resistance. If there is a turnaround anytime from now, because now it's 10:20, it's 10:22. Remember, 10:20 is where I like to, you have your phases. Overnight, anything can happen. Sometimes you go into a very narrow trading band. This is a fairly narrow one, but not really narrow. I'm talking about sometimes 8 points over the whole night after being wild the day before. And now look what's happened. It's pulled back, and that becomes a very strong resistance level. So the phase that I'm talking about is from about 6:30 in the morning. This happened to be at about, I'd say, between 4 and 5. And that's one. And that takes you to about 8:30. And 8:30 is where you get economic news. And it either continues on its directional move or it gets a reversal. This continued. Then you came out with that job openings listing. And that scared the market. And look what happened. You pull back. Now at 10:20, you've got a whole new group of participants in the market. They're coming back from just stepping aside and saying, okay, you've got, and I love this early part. If you can get it. Look, yesterday there was this move to the upside and there was like a two-click session. Where was it? There's that 4 o'clock. Yeah, look at this. There was going from 6 o'clock, so we have to go early in the morning. Here we go. So look at this. It turns green at just after midnight on the 6th. That was the 6th was yesterday, right? So midnight, it goes chop, 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 and then all of a sudden goes green. That 9-period moving average stayed green all the way through, even with that horrendous decline at 9:30 when the market opened. It went back up with the 9-period moving average holding green. That's fantastic. That's what you want to look for. And it went all the way to this G/C, and then it came down, and it went right to the 200-period moving average. So that's what I look at when I'm looking at time sequences. They're not exact, but they're like early morning for us in the Northeast, right? And then you get your action that can go into 8:30 or sometimes to the open 9:30 where the market opens. And then by 10 o'clock, you could even have a complete session for about 4 hours or 5. Sometimes it's more. And then look what happens. Comes back down. Now we've got that period that says, well, we've had news, we've had economic news, we've had all sorts of things. I'll get to NVIDIA in a minute. But now starts a new session. Doesn't have to go very high, but it's like a fresh start with people who have just come in. Maybe these are fund managers who say, look, I need the market to settle because I have things that I want to buy, I want to sell. I need this. So now what you're looking at is the 1-minute chart, the E-mini 6,025 is the 200-period moving average. That's the first resistance. Then 6,023, which is lower, so it makes 6,023 in the 5-minute chart, 6,025 in the 1-minute chart. So that's an area of resistance. How does that coincide with the 200-period moving average of the 10-minute chart? It doesn't. This is way down to 615. So I look at those and I say those are the resistance levels: 615, 623, 6,015, 6,023, 6,025, and just make it as simple as possible. You can see in this chart it says 6,012, There's an automated Chapman wave resistance level. Look at that perfect 59.88 support level, and it bounced right off that automated Chapman wave support level. So that's the way I like to look at markets. So now we've got this 10-20 phase, and that's the middle phase of the, let's call it the open session. 9:30 it starts, so this is the start of that, and that can last until I'd say 12:15, maybe going to Larry's show at 1 o'clock, and then at about 1:15 you get another more mature day, and then you get that final 35 minutes going into the 4 o'clock close. So I like to look at it in phases, and we're in this now. This is the middle phase. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman. Dow is now up 94, and the S&P is down 7. Interesting markets. I'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
So 3 questions. One is, Basil, in your portfolio for subscribers, you usually talk about it in terms of being in diverse areas. Is that continuing? And the answer is yes. I like what we have. I'd like to add to our positions. I in some cases I have, but I also added into an area that we haven't been in at all, not directly. We've been in sort of indirectly, but not directly. And I just missed it by 20 cents or something yesterday. I mean, this is something, an $80-something stock. Just missed it. So today I said the only way I can get it now is because it was gapping up early morning. I didn't want to overpay. I didn't want to overpay yesterday, and it did quite nicely. So I said we'll go into it, but now we have to do it as a split. So in other words, I had one position that I didn't want to pay up again. I still wanted to pull back, but then I wanted to position quite a bit lower down with a fairly tight stop on the whole thing, because today's really a very important session for this particular area. And if it works, then we can get it. So we've got the one position. I would like not to get the second position. In fact, that's the whole idea. I want this one to take off, and then we can add a trading position differently. But I don't know. The day's young. We'll see what happens. That's because I'm trying to broaden out our portfolio. And in some cases, I'll go for stocks. In some cases, I go for the ETF because I need to have the confidence that this sector is the one that's working. And then we can go for individual stocks in that sector. So I hope that answers the question. The other thing is, I don't feel that this is the kind of bear. You remember in April, in December, you remember I was talking about the round numbers in all these different stocks, even the different tech sector stocks, MicroStrategy, there was a Bitcoin. I mean, there's everything. And then you got that massive, that was bear market within days, every single day. Those stocks closed at the low of the day. I don't feel that I'm looking at a bear market in that sense here, but I do think that individually in different sectors, absolutely, and that's this rotational correction. I think we're in a rotational correction, and that's fantastic. I love that because the general price of the market can hold up instead of 90% of the stocks going down together. That's number one. Number two is, I did number one. That was the portfolio. Number two is the sense of the market. And number three is the semiconductors. You always talk about them leading the market up, leading the market down, and now they've been rallying. Does that hint to you that the general market should follow? Well, the SMHs haven't made new highs. Some stocks have. But look, the SMHs went all the way today to 263.58. And whoosh, they're down to 256, down 3.44. And I spoke about this, that in this rectangle formation holding well, that peak C1, C2 was taken out just by a fraction today. We went to 263.58, and I think 262 was 262.26 was the high. So we've made maybe a leg D, or maybe it's a D/C. But in the meantime, it's holding very well. Okay, so those are the things. Then I had a question that came in I only saw it as we were wrapping up yesterday, and I'm sorry, Eddie. You said, can you look at NVIDIA in the 5-minute time period? Of course, by now it's almost a lifetime, NVIDIA. Well, let's just look at NVIDIA here on the daily chart. NVIDIA has given back there. Huge amount of the price movement that it had going to today's high of 153.13. That was a gray C. 152.89. So that actually isn't that interesting? So this is still a buy mode because it took out that peak's D at 152.89, but the low took out the starting point for the buy. Did it? ABC, that's the starting point. Starting point is 128.74. 128.74. Oh, we did. It went to 126.86. So this is a brand new. This could fail, but it's really unusual. So that's very interesting. So anyway, so your NVIDIA. I'm so sorry. I figured you had this down cold, so I didn't. When I texted you back to say I'll do it today, I knew that you probably had your own way of looking at it. So here's your NVIDIA chart, NVDA, 5-minute chart from yesterday. So it gapped up, but I took it from the previous gap around about 2 o'clock the previous day, previous session, that is, peak A again because it didn't take out that A, then a B, C, D, E, and then went to a peak F with a double top. I did this quickly, so 151.99. Oh. Wait a minute, why am I not getting my... Hello? Oh, something's happening. All right, let it unfold. Now we can do it again. Yeah, I took it out. That was a G. Because it was, I did it immediately after the show and I didn't update it. So that became an F, and then it was a G. And that should have been the down arrow right there, G. And that was a high, and it went sideways, and then out of the blue, it just like, what was that, at 1350, so at 150, just before 2 o'clock Eastern time, it went pink in the 5-minute chart, and it plunged, and then you had this rogue wave. So now rogue wave, what is a rogue wave? A rogue wave is when all the technicals suggest that the prices should be going down, and if you're short, you're okay, because that should be happening. Look, the MACD was going down, stochastic ran up, and then failed, and then there was this sudden move right here that had this news-related spike. Now, what happens in a rogue wave is that there's a sign at the beach that says high tide at noon. So at 12:06, you're walking in the beach, you go down and you say, oh, I love my favorite rock. I'm going to go sit there right at the edge because high tide's at noon. You triddle on all the way on rocks and go right to the edge. You're sitting there and you got your little blankie, you put it down, your little suntan lotion, whatever it is. You got your little sandwich, you go, okay, everything's set. And you got your book all ready to read, and then splash! There's this one wave that just wipes you out. And you look around, the tide is going out. You say, well, what happened? That's a rogue wave. So look what happens. You're short, and then a rogue wave is where the price, if it works its way up and then has a big spike, that's not a rogue wave. That's a right arm extension. A rogue wave is where the bar that makes the high goes to a high long enough that the shorts say, oh, I knew the best of the best, and here I am shorting. I must be out of my mind. I'm going to cover it. I have to cover it. It's at a new high. And then all the longs that said, it was getting toppy and I needed to take money off the table. Oh, my God, it's back where it was. I'm going to add back a little bit. I must have been out of my mind. And then that very bar closes, wipes out everybody. The shorts have covered, they're no longer short. The longs have gone back in, and now they're even worse off, and the price goes tootling on its way down. That's a rogue wave. I'll put Chapman wave, rogue wave. I'll be right back after the rogue wave. Basil Chapman does it time.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. an amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hello, so let's just do this. So, and then you said that, look at APLD. APLD is, what is it called again? Applied Digital Corporation, because it's involved with NVIDIA and shares of APLD. Yeah, it's just pulling back a bit, down 52 cents. Well, I shouldn't say a bit, it's 5%, because the $9.27 stock. Yeah, this is holding very well. Almost actually the right side weekly chart looks like NVIDIA chart. Yeah, this is good. I would just say on a very short term, 848, watch that closely. If it takes that out, it's going to take a little time to digest gains. Weekly chart is still very good. What was the other one? Oh, RB. Yeah, I saw this recently. RB. This is ARBE Robotics Limited. Had a big move up today, and then it pulled back from the 509 level. It's at 4. This is a big percentage pullback. Yeah, but it was yesterday at 4.0. So it actually had a huge move intraday. Yeah, so this is RB Robotics. You know, just keep it on your list. I know you said you're long. That's just the best way. The best way is to have a portfolio, part of it, which says, these are the stocks that I'm holding. It doesn't matter what they do. I'm looking out 6 months or so. And I'm prepared to put up with ever, because you work out your proportion and loss potential, and forget the gain potential. Just the loss potential is what you want to look at, where you will get out no matter what. Otherwise, you're holding. So, that applies to both of them. So that was it. Next question came in about Square. So Square has made a high of 99.66 just the other day. All-time high. We know Square has just been an incredible stock. It was up in the 280s. A Block. I love Square. Now it's called Block, formerly Square Financial Services, Digital Payments. Peak C in the monthly chart, peak E in the weekly. I said that I would just hold off. And the reason is, you see the way it made the high, you see this dreaded H, one little dreaded H there, another dreaded H there, another one, third one, and now an even potential bigger one. If Square takes out on a closing basis, it closes underneath 84.30, and it's at 88.50 right now. That's a problem on the weekly chart, because the 200-period moving average is at 85 something. Yeah, right about 85.80, right? So that just says, that's the magnet line. It's not going to go very much up from here because it keeps getting stuck. That means that it needs to get to 95 really quickly. I don't know what the impetus will be because of today's action, quite a big action, down 353. So hold off. Let's look at it again. Just remind me, maybe next week, Monday. Let's give it a little while, because I think it's not going to go far for the moment. In terms of, it looks like it's range bound between 94.5 and hopefully 85. So there's 10-point range. So hold off a little bit. Next question was Amazon. Amazon trading, you remember the round number? Amazon 233.00 on the 16th of December. And it had a nice rally. Today, a lot of the tech stocks are giving back gains. And that, I think, has to do both with the interest rate factor, because that affects the tech stock, but also an overbought situation. So I like Amazon, but the season's kind of over. It's made this one dreaded H pattern that held the left side low. Even though it took it out, it rallied above it. I would just put it this way. If in the next week Amazon closes under 215, that's kind of it for a while. And we're going into weeks rather than just a short-term pullback. If it's able by Thursday afternoon at about 2:30 in the afternoon, if it's even at one tick that is over 226, that's a good sign. So let's just do it that way. Next question came in. I wrote them down. Pfizer. So I've liked Pfizer for a while, just in the sense that I thought it was extremely oversold. So people have asked me, I've said, it's going to be choppy. The monthly chart's horrible. The weekly chart's improved a lot. And some people have, we didn't have it for subscribers. I did want it, but we were in other areas. I just felt that we have, in the healthcare area. So this is Pfizer, big pharma, but we have a healthcare stock that's done so nicely, and then we've added to it and it's done well. Then we've just stepped aside for a moment, and even now it's holding quite well. So I just didn't want to get too involved in the healthcare area, and the Pfizer obviously is healthcare. So this is really nice action. And if Pfizer in the next, I can't say 2 weeks, I'd rather say days. If by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, it's even tagged 2786, then all of a sudden the 2820 200 period moving average comes into focus, and it hasn't been there since it broke down back in October when it was in the 2930 area. And then it plunged all the way to 24, what was the low? 2448. So this is good, a rally. It's a 3-point rally. That's a nice 12 or so % at this point. So that's Pfizer. Now, looking out, you've got to be careful, because those big red ugly bars from October into November, I do not want to see a weekly ugly bar again, because that's going to say to me, I'm done with, if I was in Pfizer, I'd say, I'm kind of done, because there's still bad news lurking out there. I want to see big green candles like we're seeing today in the weekly chart. That'll negate all that negativity. Next question came in. Let me get to it. Did that. Oh, HOTH. Oh my goodness. This is HOTH, which is, whatever it is, it's called a rocket ship, I think. What a move. It's up 335%. It's up 273. It's up almost as much as the price. The price is 3.56. Now, why is this not kicking in? Uh-oh. There it is. So, yeah, it is tootling along back yesterday in the whatever it was. What was the last price? In the 1.5.70 area or 1.40. And today it's trading at 3.58. I love this. Look at the price movement. Look at it moving. Look at that. 2.774, 2.776, 2.777. Anyway, it's around the bend. It's come around the bend. And last furlough, and they're leading. Who's leading is leading HOTH, which is, I don't know what they are. I thought someone was saying high of the, what's the H? I thought high of the, huh? Yeah, this is called, Hoth Therapeutics. I should have known biotech. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan's involved in this somehow or other. Okay, very nice. Sold half for 2 times the original basis. Yep, Dan, there you are. Rest rides. Oh, very free shares. What more than that could you want? So please check. Yes. So I did the Amazon. I did that. I don't want to run out of time before I look at. There was another question. Where did it go? Oh, yes. Recession watch, not me. Yeah. So now you can see. So Paul always berates me at even talking about NVIDIA, was talking about the PE. So, Paul, this is what you were talking about, that at any point you can get this plunge to the downside. And it's done that. Look down 8 at 141. This is impacting the general market because it has to do with the semis, right? This is NVIDIA. Wait a minute. Let's go to GE. GE has also had some big plunges, maybe not always in one day. But look at that. That week of the 2nd of August, it goes from 174 down to 158. I mean, that's a pretty big plunge, right? So you've got to look at things and say, I'm in tech because tech has a high PE and I like those kind of stocks. I don't care about anything else.
The consistency you're looking for is closer than you think. 1 or 2 adjustments are usually all you need to change your equity curve from red to green and keep it there. Come join Larry Pesavento live to learn what separates the winners from the losers. Join Larry Pesavento on the 2nd and 4th Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, where Larry will show you the market setting up and, most important of all, the state of mind of a winning trader. By watching Larry trade, you'll learn the Fibonacci levels, you'll learn how to apply A to B to C to D trading patterns, you'll learn trade management, pattern recognition, and much more. Join Larry October 11th and 25th for more live trading action. Your purchase goes towards 2 sessions, so make sure to sign up now so you don't miss a chance to sit next to Larry as he trades the market live. For all information and to reserve your spot today, go to the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Let me just get you 3 questions I got just real quickly. So one was, can I do an analysis of HOTH? Well, look, you see, this is the monthly chart of this therapeutics company. Look at those wicks. There are no candles where the price closed at the high of the month. Always these long wicks, long wicks, long wicks. Every time it fails and closes at the bottom. The month is young. All I can say is, if this at any point in the next 2 days closes under 255 and cannot the next session push to 3.10 and hold, but instead has a lower low, then it's just a great news, and then you got to prove it, and that says you got to be careful. But so far it's great action. Next one was the rig Rig is trading, Rig is trading at 4.04, up 06. It hit 410 today. This is a single leg 8 to the upside. It had a low of 340. That's Transocean Limited Offshore Drilling, Oil and Gas. So I can't recall if this was a subscriber or not. Anyway, no, this is really good. We're long. I've been long for a couple of days, so it's given about an 8 or so % gain, but it's in the oil services. So all I'm saying is that I like the area. So we got in, what was the other one? Genius Corp. This is Genius Sports trading at up 24 cents at 9.30, up 2.66. Yeah, we've been in long. We've had two positions. We've got a core position much lower down. This is Genius Sports Limited, data betting marketing London. It's doing very nicely. It just got stuck for a while. It had me a little worried, but now it's doing very nicely. We're at the 6s or so, and here it is at 9.31. That's good. So with that said, Dow's up 12. I think you see buying keeps coming in. This isn't real bear market material, even with the semis getting clobbered. Very interesting. Fund managers are looking for buys, and that's the way it is. I'll be back with Jacob later on. Check out the Opening Call Daily Newsletter. Stay tuned for Steve Rhodes and all the great programming.